What is going on, the CloverTac crew and my Ghost Squad? Welcome to the Ghost and Clover Podcast. This is episode number 13. Today's date is Sunday, August 20th, 2023. This podcast is being recorded in front of a live, well, I wouldn't say studio, but a live virtual audience and being streamed to over 150 countries worldwide. My name is Trey with Ghost Tactical, and I'll be your favorite neighborhood librarian tonight. We only have two rules in this library. One, you must make as much noise as you can. And two, you are not allowed to turn in your books on time. Other than that, let's have some fun. This episode is powered by our great friends over at EAA, or European American Army Corporation. And we are very, very happy to have them on board. Thank you to all of the people that support Clover and myself through our channels, whether it's on Patreon or YouTube memberships or using our affiliate links or Amazon or just showing up to shows like this and being an active participant. If you are here in the live studio audience, remember the third segment of this podcast is the random viewer topic, which means you guys will get a chance to, one of you will get a chance to give us the third topic. And all you have to do to be registered to and be eligible to do that is say anything in the chat throughout this entire show. Just say anything and you are going to be, the ATF is collecting names. So we'll let the ATF decide who gets the third viewer topic. We will be talking a little bit about that. Before we move on to anything else, let's bring in Clover. What is going on, amigo? How are you?
Yo, hey there, hi there, ho there.
Hi there, hey there, ho there. Yeah, how you doing? You fighting wasps again?
Man, they seem to know what time it is or something. I don't understand. They got my podcast schedule apparently. I don't get it. But it's like 2 minutes before you click the button, like two of them started dive bombing. It's like, what the crap's going on? Yeah.
Well, were they yelling bonsai when they were dive bombing? Oh, I'm sorry. That was
no, I don't think so.
Oh, man alive. Well, guys, we're going to be out here. We're going to bring, if you're new to this podcast, new to the show, basically what this is a conversation. And we have each bring a topic to the podcast, but the other doesn't know what we're going to talk about. So Clover's going to have the first topic tonight. I'm going to find out what that topic is as soon as you do. So we each have our own topic. And then, like I said, our third topic is going to be brought to you by Taurus. We'll talk a little bit about EAA and Taurus later on the podcast, but they're going to be the random viewer topic will be the third segment. So, Clove, right. I think you've got the first topic tonight, my man.
Me, you say?
Oh, I do.
So I want to take this. I want to go down a movie road, but I want to go down a very
okay.
I want to go down a fairly specific movie road. I want to talk. I want to talk movie bad guys. I want to talk movie villains. But no Darth Vader, Thanos.
No,
I want to take fantasy and superhero stuff out of it. We're talking about just could be really bad dudes that could be real bad dudes. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. So you're talking more like I'm just throwing like Hannibal Lecter, exactly. Voldemort, Norman Bates, all those kind of people like are not sci-fi.
Voldemort,
right?
Voldemort is fantasy. And
okay, I'll give you that because okay.
Yeah, that's all wizards and crap. That's no.
Yeah. Okay, I feel you on that one. I feel you on that one.
So, Hannibal Lecter, the dude from No Country for Old Men, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, let me ask you a question. Would you consider Biff from Back to the Future as a bad guy?
Yeah. That's kind of that's more of a like a comedic type bad guy, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, he definitely was the antagonist, right?
Until the very end, right?
Well, but yeah. Well, the antagonist usually gets their dues. Yeah.
This is true. I'm going to let you drive this bus here. Are we going to talk favorite or what do you want to talk about?
We don't necessarily have to go favorite. I wouldn't, because it's kind of. I've had a little time to think about it. And you're getting put on the spot. The folks out there in the audience obviously are getting put
I
on.
am.
And there may be some you bring up, some you bring up. I haven't thought about. There may be some that the uh, audience out there brings up that maybe I haven't thought about. I don't think I've really seen any yet, but maybe let's go through 5 apiece or something.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this before, because I've got a list compiling in my head. Are like horror films okay?
No.
No. Okay. So no horror
Not if
films
they're
either.
like a back from the dead, been shot, burned, buried, shot into space.
That's all
like,
of them.
No, it's not. Norman Bates would not be.
Okay, you're right about that. But like Michael Myers and Jason and Freddy, they're off the table.
That's fantasy,
Yep,
whatever,
okay,
however you want to, whatever you want to call that. It's not. I'm talking about dudes that there could be a dude in real life, or chick for that matter. Let's not be sexist here.
Sure. Yeah.
That
sure.
like could seriously be that horrible, vile of a person, and we all know that humans are capable of that mess. So I figured that's what would make this more interesting is realistic movie villains, let's say, or at least
Sure.
and at least antagonists.
Sure. Yeah. Are we gonna go from 5 to 1, or are we just gonna throw them out?
It doesn't matter. We'll just go with 5. You'll start off with like the first one.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know if I have time to like rank them in my head. I'm just gonna think of like the 5.
Man, that'll give us 10, and we can use the chat to cheat out there, the live chat to cheat if we want to.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm gonna go. My first one is a movie that I love, and a lot of people may not know much about this movie, but the movie's called A Clockwork Orange, and the antagonist in that is named Alex. And if you've ever seen A Clockwork Orange, that is truly one of the most evil people you'll ever see in a movie. So I'm going to say Alex from A Clockwork Orange. That's one of the very first ones that popped in my head was Alex from A Clockwork Orange.
Okay. Yeah.
Very, very evil person. I mean, all sorts of stuff. But if you've ever seen A Clockwork, it's a great movie, by the way. I think it's a Stanley Kubrick movie, but
right.
Great movie with Alex, but Alex is a different dude, man.
Right. I'm not getting and I don't think he had a name, but my first, man, there's so many good ones out there in the chat. I'll probably bring those up, but I want to get a couple knocked out. Defense stats said Roscoe Pico train. That's valid. That's fair.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
He wasn't. He often helped the Duke boys, and
I would say more Boss Hogg than Roscoe,
Maybe, yeah. But even sometimes Boss, Boss and Uncle Jesse were kind of friends in a way.
But Boss was more of the antagonist of that
show.
Oh
yeah, yeah. There wasn't any true realistic. I want to take it down the road of like super villain, but in a more realistic way, right? So these people are got to be evil. I can't think of the name, and I don't think he had a name in the movie, but. Kevin Spacey in 7, right?
Oh, what a great movie, by the way.
Like,
I know that 100%.
Evil, man, just evil. So that's I'm gonna go with that as number 1. Chase out there's got Buford T. Justice, another one of those. It's like,
dude, that's on my list. I literally wrote down, and I was gonna say that was my next one is Buford T. Justice from Smoking Again at Jackie Gleason. 100%.
I don't think he holds up in a room with Hannibal Lecter, but I hear you.
No, and you son of a bitch. That's but yeah,
he's on your list. That's I figured he would be, and that's valid. Is that your number 2?
I'll go. So no, I went starting from 5. So Alex was Clockwork Orange. Buford T. Justice was number 4. That's my second pick. Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna go Buford T. Okay,
I'm gonna go Buford T. Justice. Yep.
Okay. Man, I'm gonna go Hans Gruber. Man, I'm gonna go. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
pretty
that is.
Man.
You want to put that on the list. It's probably on everyone's list, right? I mean, let's just be honest. That's probably on everyone's list. I didn't put it on mine because I'm trying to go off the top of my head of people that might not first come to mind, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hans Gruber might be the greatest villain ever. A villain you love to hate almost, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
My third one is going to be Hannibal Lecter. Yeah, Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs. I think that's
valid.
It's about as solid as they come, you know.
Yeah, valid. Which he kind of, that's weird because he was a villain, but then at the same time, like, was he? Like, he definitely
was absolutely a villain, but once again, a helpful villain, maybe. Maybe Buffalo Bill. Let's just say Silence of the Lambs. You can go.
He was definitely an evil man, right?
Bill. Yeah,
he was definitely an evil man, and I guess even evil men could be helpful in some capacity, right?
Yeah. I'll go Hannibal. It'll be my third one.
Yeah. I'm just scrolling through. Oh man, Mike out there says he hasn't seen Clockwork Orange in years. Might be worth a watch. Number three, I'm going to go.
It's a weird movie. Yeah.
Number three, I'm going to break the mold, and I'm going to break the mold here because we think like realistic supervillain, evil person, blah blah blah, and we think we gender shame. We think men, right? Let's be honest. I'm going to break out a chick, man.
Okay.
Kathy Bates in Misery.
Ooh.
Right.
When she's got what's his name strapped on that bed and like breaking his man.
Yeah.
Now, is that the movie that made her famous? I think that's the movie that made her famous, was it not? I might be wrong about that.
I don't think so. I think she'd been around in quite a few other things before that. Was that before Still Magnolias? Was that before? Was it Still Magnolias? It wasn't Still Magnolias. One thing, Fried Green Tomatoes.
Fried Green Tomatoes. I want to say it was, but don't get me lying. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But she's been around the block. Kathy Bates has. She's been in a lot of stuff. So
yeah,
I wouldn't take that bet that was.
Yeah. Okay.
That was first anyway.
Now, Gunpowder Beauty brings up someone I thought about. Leonardo DiCaprio's role, Calvin Candy and Django Unchained. That was but I didn't put him on the list.
Let me tell you another one antagonist for DiCaprio, Wolf of Wall Street, right?
Oh yeah. So the Joker is maybe a top 3 of all time, but we're not going fantasy and all that stuff. So
no fantasy, no fantasy superhero weirdo stuff. Like somebody that could legit be, anybody that's wearing makeup and crazy things like that. No, and bat suits, like that's not realistic. So let's stay in the realm of realistic evil. Yeah. So fourth, are we on the fourth?
Fourth one for me, I'm gonna keep going. Nurse Ratched from One Who Flies Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Heck yeah.
Nurse Ratched was man.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Man. Yeah, where are we at? Which one? We're
your fourth one.
4 for me. Man, we started this chick train with Kathy Bates, man, and now
hey, chick train.
Whatever. You know what I mean? This trend, the chick trend. You know how I feel about trains anyway, bro. So
this is true. Yeah, you're not a big fan of trains, especially when they come close to barns.
That's true. I'm gonna stay on that because I got one in mind and it's a dude. So let's go this other route. Dude, what is the movie, man? What is the movie? Help me out there, because it's Glenn Close and she like boils a rabbit. Like,
oh, you're talking about Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction. That is it. Michael Douglas, right? Michael Douglas. Yeah. And I was thinking of two. I was actually thinking of 2 chicks. I'll save one if you don't mention the other one. We'll throw in an alternate here in a little bit.
All right.
And some people out there may not have seen that movie I picked, so I would mention. And that chick pretty evil too, in a realistic type scenario. So yeah, 4. I'm gonna go with Glenn Close, Fatal Attraction.
That's a good one. Ironically, She Fires joined in. It says, I'm joining the chick trend. There you go.
There you go.
My number 1, I mean, I don't know if it's number 1 or not, but my
right.
But it might be. It very well. It
mine
very
or
well
no
could
order.
be.
Yeah, mine or no order.
Yeah, very well could be. Is Jack Torrance, played by Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. That's epic,
man.
Dude.
That's. If you've never seen The Shining, guys, man, go enjoy that one.
so you've got 2 that Nicholson was in. What you got? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and The Shining. Man.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. Who are your other ones?
Jack Nicholson play like the greatest bad guy ever? I mean, he played the original, movie Joker.
Yeah.
I loved him in it, but he was the antagonist, quote unquote, in A Few Good Men. Maybe his best role ever, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think you can put Jack into a lot of different categories.
Right. I'm gonna go back. We were just spitballing earlier, and I don't know. I can't think of the actor's name, but the dude from No Country for Old Men, like he's pretty. Was a pretty cold.
Oh yeah,
just stoic face, just like didn't give 2 flips, like he didn't care.
Oh crap! Was it Anton?
Anton, yeah,
man, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yep. So an alternate. And Marcus out there must have come in late. No Michael Myers, man. We're not talking about superhero-ish or like any kind of fantasy world. We're talking folks that they literally could be your neighbor or live in your same town. Like, as crazy as the stories are that the movies they're in or as evil as they are, it's realistic stuff that they're doing. And Kill Bill would be one of those borderline things too. I think Gunpowder mentioned what's her name? Uma Thurman. Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that one.
Or who was the other chick in was that Lucy Liu?
Lucy Liu, yeah.
The other one, yeah. Anyway, you got an alternate of any kind you can think of?
An alternate? I tell you one, it's a great movie, and I haven't seen it in a while. But it was one of the ones that first popped in my head. And then I'd start thinking of better ones. But one of the first ones that popped in my head was, and I don't know this character's name, so you're going to have to forgive me, but it was Denzel Washington in Training Day.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't remember his character's name, but that was a great. I know that Denzel plays Denzel in every movie, but that one was a really good one.
Yeah. So the whole reason I said, well, first of all, we needed to burn a few extra minutes of time. Sure. But one of the reasons I mentioned an alternate is Rebecca De Mornay, Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Oh, Hand That Rocks the Cradle. That's a great one.
God. If y'all haven't seen that and you want to see a messed up evil chick, like, there you go. Like the crazy stuff. I'm afraid of getting a YouTube strike just talking about the crazy stuff she does. But
man, I haven't thought about that movie in forever.
Ooh, yeah.
That was a good one.
It's pretty crazy for sure. Yeah,
that's a good one. Oh man, Hand That Rocks the Cradle. That's a great one, actually.
So I had, what did I have? I don't remember. I had Anton from No Country for Old Men, Rebecca De Mornay, Kathy Bates, somebody out there in the chat mentioned John Doe. He didn't have a name. Kevin Spacey from
Seven. Yeah,
from Seven. What's my other one? Somebody out there help me. Hans Gruber. Duh.
Hans Gruber. I don't remember my first one.
Yeah.
Oh, Alex from Clockwork Orange. Clockwork Orange. And I got Buford T. Justice from Smoking the Bandit, Hannibal Lecter, Nurse Ratched, and Jack Nicholson from Shining. And my alternate is Denzel from Training Day. Those are pretty solid, man. Those are pretty solid. Considering we took all fantasy, sci-fi stuff out. I think that's a pretty solid list.
Yeah, I would hate to live in the town that all of those folks lived in.
Oh yeah,
That would
yeah,
not
for
be
sure.
that would not be a place you would want to be.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
up here, seeing if we missed anything. Dr. Evil from Mike Myers is what Ozzy said.
That's funny.
1 million. I mean, $100
$1
billion. $1 million.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The sheriff and the what's his name? Oh man, from First Blood or whatever.
Brian Dennehy.
Brian Dennehy. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Woods mentioned that. Like, yeah, that's a
He
solid
also
one.
Ozzy also menaced Goldfinger, and James Bond Goldfinger. That's a great one. Goldfinger was maybe the greatest song for any movie ever was Goldfinger. It's definitely my favorite Bond song for sure. Oh, Tony Montana.
Tony Montana. It's a good one.
Yeah. Man, we could have gone down. We could have done bad guys just from the Godfather trio, you know.
This is true.
If we wanted to go down
I wanted to specialize it because, if we went broad and just said, oh, the antagonist, oh, the, movie villains, then you get Darth Vader, you get Thanos.
The number one, hands down.
You know what I mean? I mean, you get like, let's go truly scary. I mean, are we really? I love Darth Vader. First of all, you do too, right?
No, he's my favorite character ever.
He was the chosen one. He is the hero of the saga there. But when you look at like Thanos, when you look at, I'm trying to think of anything else, it's like, what's another one that's like fantasy land stuff, right? When you look at those, Mike Myers, right, or Jason Voorhees, let's go down that road for a second.
I would have even gone, even to a certain extent, Lex Luthor and Superman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When you start going down that road of like, some fantasy type stuff, then
the Joker obviously would have been up there with Batman, right?
Oh yeah, right. Are you really scared? Does that really scare you? Because there's could be actually people out there like that.
Yeah.
The ones I wanted to put on the list is the ones to think about, like
Hannibal Lecter is a truly terrifying character.
That could all be real stuff. Like everyone we mentioned could be an absolute real person right now out there doing some evil stuff, and it's scary to think that the human genome or whatever has that type of capacity.
Absolutely.
But it does, unfortunately.
Oh, forgot about one of my favorites ever, Ricardo Montalban as Khan in Wrath of Khan. That would have been a great one.
Great one. Khan.
That's a great one.
Sci-fi, unfortunately, but yeah.
Sci-fi, yeah. And Wood's TV show, one of my favorite TV series ever is Dexter, and John Lithgow and Dexter, 100% fantastic antagonist. If you guys have never seen Dexter, do yourself a favor. One of the greatest shows that has ever happened. I'm just going to give it sounds crazy, but it's a great show. Little quick synopsis. It's a serial killer that moonlights as a forensic scientist for a police department trying to catch the serial killer. It's amazing. It's great. It's not funny. It's dark. By the way, speaking of dark and Hannibal Lecter, have you ever seen the show Hannibal? Have you ever started watching that?
No.
It is truly one of the greatest shows ever, but it is dark, bro. Like I stopped watching in the middle of season 2. Like I've got a pretty sick sense of humor and I've got a sick mind. It got too dark for me. I just stopped watching. It got to that point. I was like, okay, I'm done.
Right.
But it's phenomenal. The first season was incredible.
Right. Speaking of sick minds, I seen Chase from EAA out there earlier.
Yeah, he's out there.
But it's about that time to pay some bills. Talk about EAA, and I've got something from EAA, or honestly from Gerson via EAA, I guess you could say. Waiting at the gun shop right now. Saturday,
I do too. I got a call Friday, and I said I'll pick it up Monday.
Yeah, I'm not even 100% sure what it is, but I don't even know that I'll get it picked up this week. It may be next Saturday or this coming Saturday, whatever, a week from yesterday, before I get a chance to even pick mine up. So, But yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming out. What we're picking up, we can't even talk about for another month or plus.
Month or month and
Um,
a half, probably. Yeah.
that being said, we can talk about and confirm the 2311 Witness, which a lot of people have been waiting on. Not EAA's fault, not Gerson's fault. Thank your
Correct.
kind of like thank your local sheriff, thank your federal government
Thank your
for
bureaucrats.
yeah, for dragging their feet and making that a bigger pain than it should be, getting all of those models in. But talking with Chase the other day, I'm sure you probably did too, and they said they were
I haven't
basically
talked with
going to
Chase. Well,
bring in
I've been a little busy. So I haven't talked with Chase in a week or two, so I need to catch up with
basically,
him.
and I don't think he's going to mind me putting this out because they've kind of said that before, but uh, they're gonna roll them out. Um, they're not going to be able to roll them all out, I don't think, all at one time, into distributors and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So over the next few months, though, you should start seeing, and by the end of the year, hopefully see all the different variants of the Witness 2311. And if you're not familiar with that, it's the double stack in 9mm, 10mm, and 45 ACP. The awesome one I'm looking forward to is the CloverTac model, of course, the 6-inch 10mm Witness 2311. So you're probably like the little stubby short carry version
I
or
like
something.
I like the 4 and 4.25, 4.5 inch
Yeah.
compact 9mm. Obviously, I love me a good 10mm, but man, yeah, we're all looking forward to that. Chase says that the Secret Squirrel goes live October 2nd. So there you go.
Yep.
Be on the lookout for that on October 2nd. But yeah, no, I mean, obviously, talk about a year, bro. Like, how about a year for EAA?
Right.
Unleashing and unveiling the Witness 2311 at SHOT Show, getting people at range day with hands on it and shooting it. Obviously, unveiling the MC 14, that the tip up barrel at
Oh,
NRAM. And by the way, I'm telling you, we've been saying this before, and this is not because Chase is a friend of ours or whatever. If that gun doesn't win Gun of the Year, then something is wrong. If you're out there and you're looking for a great carry gun for anyone of any strength ability, go to your local gun shop. Tell them you want to get the Gerson MC14T. It is unbelievable.
yeah. Even if you don't need the tip up barrel, I mean, you don't even have to use it.
It's
That's
just
the
cool.
beauty
You don't
of
have to
it.
use it, but it's still cool. It is so cool.
It is, man. It's a 380, but a lot of folks don't realize even a larger 380 can be snappy.
Oh yeah,
Case in point, Beretta Cheetahs and the MC14. Man, it feels
this
better. It
is
shoots better. I verified that. Right now, the only reason it hasn't made my carry rotation yet, it's kind of we were talking about, I think, on your show this last week or maybe the week before about, what do you go through when you add
yeah.
something to that rotation, and it hasn't had the trigger time. It hasn't put enough rounds downrange yet. It hasn't underperformed or screwed up or did anything, right? It's just
Mm-hmm.
it hasn't earned its place yet, if that makes sense. And I fully see it earning its place before the end of the year. If I can get kind of out from underneath a bunch of crap right now and actually get out on the range with it and put more rounds down the pipe, the
Yeah.
quicker I can do that, the quicker I would be able to say, okay, I trust this thing now. Not a
Yeah.
problem. And like I said, I don't have a reason now not to trust it. I'm just saying.
No, I hear you.
The more I put in it, the more trust I can put in it, or the more I put through it, the more trust I can put in it. And that's kind of my take on carry guns. But it definitely has it has the chops for sure.
Yeah, no, it's a great gun. Um, Honestly, let's just be honest. I have yet to find something that comes from Gerson that I haven't loved.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, it's a phenomenal
So
gun, and then I love the fact that Gerson listens to EAA on helping of the design. That really is nice as well.
yeah, it's always, and you don't see that very often with
Yeah,
importers. But before we get to your topic, we
yeah,
just remind everybody, we got quite a few out there in the live chat. If you are in replay, we love you, but you need to come over and listen live because this is where the party happens. This is where everybody has the most fun. Let them know out there, let them in the live chat, hoop and holler, and let everybody know what they're missing. But one thing that you're missing is the viewer-driven segment or viewer topic. Somebody out there in the live audience is going to be chosen here in a minute or 2 or 10 or 20 to pick the last topic of the evening. It can be pretty much anything. We reserve the right, obviously, to refuse certain topics for platform policy reasons and maybe some other personal reasons or other things. But for the most part, it's going to be fair game. And if you want the shot at picking that topic, well, all you got to do is say something, and you can literally say something, the word in the live chat. That's all it takes.
Anything. Yeah.
Just say hi. Just type some question marks. Throw an emoji, even, I think would probably work. But out there in the live chat, and you'll have a shot at that. And definitely make sure you are live in the podcast. And you'll know that if you mouse over the screen and the little live thing is not red, that means you're not live. So refresh, get caught up, whatever. And also, if we do call your name, get us a topic pretty quick. Don't hold up the show. So with that,
like we say, the topics, pretty much fair game unless it's going to get us kicked off of YouTube. So, or any podcast platforms. We'll talk about most things. Clover, we've actually had a topic early on in the show that neither one of us were very familiar with, and we still bullshitted our way kind of through it,
Oh, I'm good at that. Yeah. If you can't, what is it? If you can't
fake it till you make it.
If you can't dazzle them with brilliance, then baffle them with BS, I think is the phrase that I heard somebody use multiple times. And I've always been really good at that, quite honestly. But you're up, man. Topic. Let's go.
Just because I just got some the other night, and I want to talk ice cream.
Oh, I want some ice. Well, soft serve, but yeah, I want. Oh my God, so bad. But ice
we're going to talk our favorite ice cream flavors, and I'll even take ice cream on a stick type things or whatever.
Milk based or can
milk based?
Okay.
Yeah, no popsicles or fruit stuff.
Or
no, we're talking milk, dairy based frozen treats. How about that? And being that we're both Texas boys, obviously there will be some Bluebell mentioned. We're not talking brands; we're just talking like flavors or different things like that.
Well,
so let's kind of go through our
flavors.
Top 5.
Some flavors are specific to Bluebell is the problem.
That's what I'm saying is Bluebell will be mentioned because we are both Texas boys.
Now this can be store bought or through some type of a chain or
sure, absolutely,
okay, just to clarify.
Like I said, just if it's something that Brahms puts out and it's a special flavor at Baskin Robbins or whatever, So. Let's go with your number. Not number one, but your first.
Yeah, just in any order. Okay, so in any order, simply because this may not be something anybody has heard of. Schwann's chocolate almond.
Oh, okay.
And it's exactly like it sounds. Just chocolate ice cream with chipped up almonds in it.
Okay. My number one is gonna be just a basic dreamsicle. It's the orange popsicle with the vanilla ice cream in the middle. Can't go wrong with a dreamsicle, man. That ice cream, that vanilla ice cream in the middle is pretty damn good. Kind of gonna go with that.
How does that count? Because that's vanilla
ice cream in the middle of it.
It's got ice cream, but it's flavored more by the popsicle on the outside,
but it's got the ice cream in the middle. It's got okay. I'll take that off the board then.
Now, I don't mind. I don't mind conceding. I mean, we're just having fun. But what I want to say is, speaking of that, I was watching, and this is why I say, first of all, and we got time to kill, but ice cream kills me. I wouldn't say I'm lactose intolerant because I don't necessarily believe in all this. Oh, I'm gluten intolerant. I'm lactose. I don't believe in. I think anybody can consume pretty much any natural type products within reason. I think if you eat too much of something or whatever, or maybe you're not in the best of health or have other issues, things can obviously bother you. But ice cream can, or soft serve or whatever, milk products, let's just say, can mess with it. But I was watching a thing on DQ, on Dairy Queen, the other night.
Oh
And
yeah,
it was
sure.
about, DQ is franchised out, and the different franchises across the country can have different menus. And did
Yes, they
you
can, and they
know?
do, because there are certain things that I can get in Texas that I cannot get in Arkansas. Damn it!
Did you know? You know how that you have DQ? You've got like chocolate dipped cones. That's the big thing that almost all of them do, right? Did you know there is a dreamsicle dipped cone, soft serve cone, in some franchises?
I'm sorry.
He's quiet. It is imagine a outer shell of a dreamsicle, right?
Okay.
In liquid form, like the chocolate that they dip the soft serve in, and
Okay.
they
So it's an
take
ice
and they
cream
take
cone with the orange dip.
with the orange shell, with the orange dreamsicle shell.
Oh my, that might be a little bit of
Right?
heaven.
Right. Now, I have never in my life, and I have eaten at a ton of Dairy Queens. I don't even say DQ. That's how OG I am. But I've eaten at a ton of Dairy Queens. I have never once seen the dream sickle cone. But oh my God, if I ever find one, like I'm having it.
Yeah. No, that's solid.
Yeah. And that's why
That's
I said
solid.
I would have probably allowed that on the list, because it kind of made me think about that and throw that
Yeah.
out there. Maybe somebody out there knows a place that has it around where they live, and that'll at least give us some
They
idea.
do not have it at the Dairy Queen. That's the close to me is about half an hour.
Right.
They do not have that at that one. Trust me, I would know about it.
Right.
For sure. All right. What's your second one?
Man, golly, it's all going to be. It's after this. It's like almost all freaking Bluebell. To be honest with
I
you.
know, right?
I'm gonna go. Man, this is gonna sound weird, and it's fairly new.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why. Well, I'll tell you why after I tell you what it is. Bluebell. For those that like floats, you're welcome. Bluebell Dr. Pepper float.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Now here's why, and it's new. I'm talking about new. Growing up, we and up until my grandmother, I don't know, quite a few years ago, passed away. We had Sunday at minimum. If, we didn't spend all week or whatever when we was really small. We would have Sunday lunch at my grandmother's, and up until again, my grandmother died. My grandfather, all you had to do was say something about a Dr. Pepper float, and he would go in there literally and scoop the Bluebell homemade vanilla ice cream out of the bucket, put it in a cup, pour a little Dr. Pepper in there, and mix it up like a blended type float, right? Oh my God! So I've had Dr. Pepper floats with Bluebell homemade ice cream, homemade vanilla, as long as I can remember, right? So when I hear Bluebell is releasing a freaking gallon bucket of Dr. Pepper float, I mean, just you can imagine the memories and like everything. And I'm throwing that out there and saying because I haven't even tried it yet. And
right. No, I hear you.
I'm throwing that into the mix. Number one, to get it out there, but number two, if I see it, it's kind of like the orange dreamsicle cone thing. If I see it, there's a bucket probably coming home with me.
Yeah. My second one, since you brought up a float, I'm just going to go with the classic root beer float. But I'm going to put a caveat. A&W is great, but my favorite is with Barks root beer. A Barks root beer float is incredible.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's even better. Have you ever had any? Have you ever had actual real root beer in a float?
No.
So there is, and before cough and all that shut basically the world down.
Right.
There were fairs and festivals and stuff all the time, and some of that's starting to come back, thank goodness. But there is, I think it's called Zelmer's, and the guy has several little food trailer type things, right? Fairly small company, and it's Zelmer's root beer, and it's actual homemade, like real root beer. We're not talking about from a can, folks. If you've ever had real root beer, you know what I'm talking about. And it's real root beer. I've had
real root beer, and just not on a float.
So,
it sounds bad, but I don't know if I'd waste it on a float.
And so he does. Yeah, he does. Well, it's worth it. He does root beer, You can get, cold root beer. You can get root beer in a frozen mug. You can get, and it costs quite a bit extra because of the mug. But you
Sure.
could get,
You get to keep the mug.
you can, yes, you do. Actually, you do, and you
Nice.
get cheaper refills if you bring it when you go
There
to the
you
next fair or
go.
festival or whatever. Any of their cups, if you spend the extra money, their float cup is the same way. So
Nice.
if you get the big cup anyway, so
Sure.
slushy root beer slushies basically, and then root beer floats. Now he does 100% use Bluebell homemade vanilla ice cream. He does not use anything else with the Bluebell floats, but
So he's got,
or with the
he's got
Bluebell floats.
class. He's classy guy.
But but it's true root beer, not mass produced, bottled up, by some
Yeah.
big corporation root beer. And oh my God, is it amazing? And the float is where it's at, quite honestly.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Can't go wrong with a good root beer float.
Yeah.
What's your number 3?
Number 3,
I think it's fair to say that both of ours are probably going to be Bluebell from here on out.
So number 3, I've got 3, 2, and 1 basically, right? Or 3, 4, and 5, depending on how you look at it. So I've got 3. Counting this one, I've got 3 because I've got to save. I've got to save at least one spot, and it's going to be like a no-brainer. Man, you know what? It's really really hard to beat. OG Bluebell, just straight up strawberry, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Straight up strawberry. It's hard to beat.
Yep. Yeah, my favorite Bluebell, I'm not going to put this on the list because I've got other things I want to talk about for specific reasons. But my favorite, just basic, like nothing on it, just scoop it out of the Bluebell thing and put it in a bowl, is just regular old chocolate chip. Like just regular old chocolate chip. That's not gonna be my number 3. It's just gonna be like something I'm throwing out there is just chocolate chip. Simple. I remember growing up with my dad eating chocolate chip ice cream, so I get just a basic, the basic thing. My number 3, I'm gonna throw it out there. It's probably my number 1, and it should be the number 1 thing ever in the world. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. I'm gonna say it's got to be the Wendy's Frosty. That's my number 1. But I'm gonna throw it. I'm not putting it in order, but the Wendy's Frosty. Anyone that doesn't say anything about the Wendy's Frosty, then you just don't know what you're talking about.
And that's its own thing, right? Like
it's its own thing.
It's not really ice cream. It's not really. It's like
a milkshake. It's a Frosty.
It's like it's a Frosty. It's literally a Frosty.
Yeah, it is not a milkshake. Anyone tells you it's a milkshake doesn't know what they're talking about.
That or they need to seek some mental help. Because how they can let it sit there long enough for it to become liquid enough to suck it through a straw.
And by the way, I'm not going to lie. When it turns liquid, it might be even better. I'm just saying.
Well, it
very well could be better.
True. Now, for those that have not done it, a hot, fresh Krispy Kreme donut dipped in a Wendy's Frosty, you will probably get instant diabetes from it, but it will be
well worth it.
It's worth a toe or two.
If you're gonna die, that's the way to go.
Who needs the pinky toe? I mean, let's be honest.
That's right. Yeah. Your 4th pick or whatever. You got 2 left.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, you hit us with the Frosty, which was a pretty solid thing there. So we're talking about confections count and all of that, right?
Yeah, sure. As long as it's
I'm gonna go, dude.
Cold dairy-based treats.
Dude, ice cream sandwich, right? Like,
oh yeah. Now, do you go with like the vanilla, or are you going like the Neapolitan, or what are you going with?
I like either the man. They've got one like the Mississippi Mud.
Oh sure, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The Mississippi Mud's great, but I mean, just the OG vanilla and chocolate, man. And especially like Bluebell. We're gonna bring up Bluebell. We need a sponsorship for this one. But they make the mini bar. You know what I mean? The mini bars. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's smaller.
Like two bites and you're done with them.
Maybe 3. Buddy. Yeah, maybe 3. But the little smaller ones, and those don't melt. You can get those down before they actually melt or whatever.
This is true.
And plus, if you're watching your girlish figure, you can kind of control your intake on those a little more too. Or if, like I'm saying, like with me, if I eat too much dairy or whatever, sometimes it'll mess with me. But so usually I think the mini moo bars or something is what they call them, or some crap like that. But yeah, just an OG ice cream sandwich, and there's a bunch of different ways you can go with that. There's a bunch of different brands and whatnot that I've seen that are out there that have harder.
Hell, I'll take the generic Walmart brand ones. Oh
yeah, 100%, 100%. But then some of them have a soft cookie, and then some of them have a more crispy, crunchy cookie.
I like a softer cookie.
I do too. I think it pairs with the ice cream better. The hard ones tend to squeeze the ice cream out, and I don't like that as much.
Yep.
Yeah.
My fourth pick or my number 2 pick, whatever. I don't, really go in order. I'm going to go with, so I have a caveat with this. It's mint chocolate chip from Bluebell. Okay.
Oh yeah.
But I have a caveat with this. In milkshake form. I'll make milkshakes with the mint chocolate chip, and it's about as good as it gets.
There you go.
I'll fill up the blender, about halfway up with ice cream, put some milk in there, blend it all up, and I'll have me a mint chocolate chip milkshake, and it is scrumptious. And now I can eat the mint chocolate chip no problem by itself. It's wonderful. But if you put it in milkshake form, even Baskin Robbins has a pretty good mint chocolate chip milkshake. So I'm all down for a mint chocolate chip milkshake for sure.
Yeah.
Klondike bar has been mentioned out there several times. I'm not a big Klondike bar fan. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
I like an Eskimo pie.
Love me an Eskimo pie.
That's essentially what a Klondike bar is. I don't know if that's a Southern thing or a Texas thing to call it an Eskimo pie, but that's what we always call it.
The Klondike, to me.
The Klondike bar is a little. What's the word? I want to say a thicker. Maybe? I don't want to say a thicker ice cream or a denser ice cream, but a Klondike bar seems like it's a denser type ice cream.
Almost like it's frozen yogurt consistency, but it's not frozen yogurt.
It doesn't melt as fast. Blah blah blah. The chocolate coating is more of a dark chocolate flavor.
Dark chocolate, and I'm not a huge dark chocolate person.
And it's definitely thicker. It's definitely thicker. I don't have a problem with a Klondike.
Same thing with those Dove bar things. They're kind of like a Klondike. I'm not a big fan of the Dove bars either,
Yeah. I'll eat them. I will.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to turn them down, but I'm not going to go buy them and look for them.
I'm not going to buy a box. Yeah, I'm not going to go buy a box. Not if they're sitting next to some Bluebell, whatever's. Yeah.
Damn straight.
I don't even know what number we're on.
Your last one, whether it's number, your last pick, number 1 or whatever. Yeah.
This is tough, but since I've only got one last pick, I got to stay true to the OG and just say Bluebell homemade vanilla, period.
Okay. I was expecting to hear a little Whataburger chocolate shake in there somewhere.
But that's more of a concoction to me than a.
I get it, but we're still talking. It's a dairy based.
It's a good. It is. I mean, there's some different things. I mean, you've got that. Yeah, the Whataburger chocolate shake. Definitely a solid one. The Crunch Bar from Bluebell, which is almost like it's an Eskimo pie, but in like a Nestle's Crunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. I forgot about that.
With the crisp rice in it. Those are pretty banging. And then anytime we talk ice cream, my mom's homemade ice cream, homemade vanilla, is off the freaking chain good. And it doesn't matter if you make a float or a sundae or a malt or or just eat it with a spoon, or put fruit, whatever it doesn't matter. It's my mom's homemade ice cream is just freaking, it's heaven. Gosh, so good. But that's not from a chain or anything like that, of course, or you can't readily go get it. Yeah, I mean, stay true to the OG. I mean, I can sit and eat, Bluebell homemade vanilla, and if that's all I had the rest of my life, I'd be happy.
Sure.
Gotta be honest, I'd be happy. I can add enough stuff to that, or use that enough stuff.
You can use that as a base for so many things.
Yep, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Put a warm brownie in
Oh
there, and a little bit
God!
of heaven.
Can you imagine a
Got
big
a little bit
dollop
of
of?
heaven.
Oh my God! On a warm brownie. Ooh,
Sounds good as it's about as good as it gets.
ooh, that's tough, man. That's
It
tough.
is tough. That's a tough one. That might be the best dessert ever. Just saying.
Yep. Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw my because I just thought about it and how I didn't think about it earlier. So I'm gonna throw my honorable mention out there first. You're talking about the crunch bar, and I was like, oh my god, how did I forget this? I love these things. The drumsticks, the cones with like the nuts on top.
Oh yeah.
The drumsticks are pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But my number one, and I don't know if they were a Dallas thing, a Texas thing, a nationwide thing. I don't know, and they haven't been around in a while. But my favorite ice cream treat, if you will, of all time is when I was a kid, we used to eat the hell out of these things, and they were like the Mickey Mouse ice creams. It was shaped like Mickey Mouse with the ears. It was dipped chocolate in the ice cream. It had chocolate and vanilla in there. But I don't. Do you remember that? Do you remember the Mickey Mouse ice cream on a
I
stick?
remember what you're saying, and it was not. It was not. The taste was unique.
Yeah.
I remember the taste being unique. It was not. Now, I've often wondered, and I haven't tried a wide variety, but for some time there was and yes, this is a thing here in Texas and maybe elsewhere. I don't know. There was a Mexican ice cream shop next to my store, my shop there in town, and I tried a lot of different things from
Are
there.
you talking about a Mexican shop that sells dairy products? That's an inside joke for anyone else out there that
Yeah,
knows
well,
it.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they more than that, they had popsicles and other things, but they did a lot
Yeah.
of weird. They do a lot of weird stuff, man. They put like pepper and stuff and like cayenne pepper on top of their ice creams and
What the
their
heck?
like yeah, it's weird. They put some like
Okay.
spicy oranges and tangerines in there or something. It's really it's some interesting stuff if you've never had it. I will say that, but they have some stuff, and I never tried it. But they have some really oddball shapes, and they really do a lot of like they have stuff in the shape of SpongeBob and stuff in the shape of superheroes. Like I've seen a Spider-Man one time, and they do a lot. It's just interesting, just the variety of different things that they got going on in those ice cream shops or confection, whatever, frozen confection shops, whatever you call them.
Yeah.
And I've often wondered if they didn't have something that was similar, because I know what you're talking about, and I remember it being a unique taste. It was not like you eat an Eskimo pie, which is
It was
kind of
like
like what it
chocolate.
was.
It was like chocolate. It was chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream, but it wasn't like it was a little different. It was great.
It
But
was.
I remember, oh man, it was so good. And I wish they still made those. Man, I remember I always start eating ears off and then I work the rest of the head, but that sounds kind of demented, but it was good stuff. Ice cream can't go wrong, especially when it's gonna be 195 degrees for the next week.
Right.
So go get yourself some ice cream. Real quick before we go on to our next segment, brought to you by our friends at Taurus. We'll talk about Taurus in a second. Here in a few minutes, we'll give you about a minute or so for out there. If you're in the live chat, go ahead. If you haven't said anything yet, go ahead and say something, anything, whatever, in the chat. So we're going to be drawing the person who's going to give us our random topic right now. So Clover's going to bring that up. So we're going to give you about 30 seconds or so. We got 31 entries. So if you're out there and you haven't said anything, go ahead and say something. And when we draw that, then we'll talk a little bit about our friends over at Taurus. But before we do that, if you're listening to the podcast form of this, maybe you're listening to the Self-Defense Radio Network or the Firearms Radio Network. Go check out your favorite Pro Gun, Pro 2-Way podcasts over on Self-Defense Radio Network and the Firearms Radio Network as well. Clove, you want to go ahead and see who we got out there?
Yeah, you got. First of all, Mike says, "What would you do for a Klondike bar?" I wouldn't even get up out of my chair, quite honestly, Mike.
I'm not gonna lie. When it comes down to Wednesday or Thursday, when it's like 104 without the heat index, I'd do pretty much whatever for any cold.
Well, this is true. This is true. It was 107, I think, or 8 today without the index. Here we go. We're gonna spin that wheel. Speaking of,
All right.
so
So if your name gets picked, give us a topic pretty quickly.
quickly respond, quickly give us a topic, and we will move
Oh
on.
Lord.
Chase, this
Oh
is going to be
Lord.
fun. So Chase should be listening, you would think,
Oh
since
Lord.
EAA powers the show. He has to keep us in check and make sure that
Oh,
they
this
get their
could go
money's
very
worth.
badly. This could go
But
very badly.
Chase out there has the topic. You got to figure he's out there somewhere. So
Yeah, he is.
while Chase with EAA gives us the topic, we'll talk about Taurus.
Yeah, you guys know that we're both fans of Taurus, and this is kind of ironic that Chase is going to give us the topic, and we're going to talk about Taurus. I have a feeling this clip might get taken and put on a desk tomorrow. You know, interesting.
What's going on here? Hey, you know what? They both know the score when we had the proposals for the sponsorship. They both
That's
knew
right.
what was going on. So, you know.
And to be fair, they were both pleasantly fine with each other sponsoring. They didn't. Neither one of these companies had issues with it. So
Right. I hadn't seen him comment yet. So if you don't comment in a couple of minutes, we'll redraw. Just
we
so
might have dodged the bullet. No pun intended. You know.
Right.
Now,
But yeah,
Mandatory Gary says Ghost always sounds disappointed with the winner. No, I just know certain people's mindsets, and it could get really weird.
well, I'm about ready to spin again. Let's just spin
go
again,
for it.
He
Let's
should have
spin
done
again.
answer.
We dodged the bullet. We
don't have time to just sit and wait. But while we do that, we can maybe move on to Taurus. Well, there's Chase though.
Oh, Chase did. Okay.
Bowler has to defend why the Beretta Pico is the greatest pistol ever. Ghost has to defend why it's not. Okay.
I mean, that's
valid.
I mean, that is
valid. But first,
that's not that difficult for me to do. I'm not a big fan of the Pico, so
yeah.
I do like 380s. I do like, you know, what those they call them micro 380s. You know, I do like those. I'm a Beretta guy.
Well, I have to defend the Pico.
You have to defend the Pico, and I have to defend why it's not good. Correct?
Oh, why it's
I'll
not
let you.
Good.
I'll let you go ahead and say why it's good then. And it shouldn't be that hard because maybe not the Pico, but you are a fan of the micro 380s, and it does. The Pico I think does come in 9 too, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong about that. I think it does come in 9, but it's mostly known for that. I know it for a 380. So yeah. I'll let you. Let's go debate style. So I'll let you have the first argument.
It's chambered in 380. What better, caliber for personal defense, period. I mean, it says it right there on the website, the most concealable, caliber for personal defense and home protection. So there you go. I mean, you can trust everything Beretta says. We know this. Beretta's awesome. They're taking over the world.
They are taking over the world, according to some people.
Some might
say. The bad thing about this gun is for such a small gun, the trigger weight is the same amount as the actual weight. It's an actually heavy gun for a little 380. It's so not heavy. Let's not get it mistaken, but it's heavier than one thinks. And when you're talking about these micro compact 380s and all that, we know one thing: terrible trigger pull. And let's just be honest, the Pico ranks up there with one of the worst trigger pulls. Once again, love Beretta, terrible trigger, terrible. When I bought my what do you call it? Oh crap, what's the little 380 that I got? The Smith & Wesson, is it the Bodyguard? I think it's the Bodyguard. Yeah, it's the Bodyguard. It came down between the Bodyguard, the Pico, and an LCP. And I'm not gonna lie, like the Pico was the worst of the three. And especially I'm a Beretta guy, but it's definitely the worst of the three. That trigger pull is terrible. Really, 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 really bad. Do you have another argument for?
I do. I mean, the name, right? I live in Texas, and the name is Pico. Come on.
Okay,
obviously, we have to love it. It's Pico. Come on.
Yeah. So I got to go with another one saying why it's not.
One more, and then we'll do some closing arguments, I guess, on it.
All right. One more bad one. Honestly, it's ugly. To me, it's an ugly gun. I mean, I know it's not an art, but we talked about this on the Armed Citizen podcast last week, and looks do play a big role in deciding whether you like a gun, right? You've got to like the looks of it, or what are we talking about the rest of it? To me, the Pico is just an ugly gun. It's kind of like, I don't know, the redhead stepchild of like a PPK almost. It's kind of got a, you know what I'm saying?
That's but it's not fair. You said that about the time John jumped into the side chat.
Oh, well, you know, bastards out there. So, yes. Yeah. P says Pico is modular. Okay.
So, yeah. So, closing arguments, I guess.
Okay. Your closing argument, counsel?
All right, so, you know, the Beretta Pico, I mean, first of all, it's from Beretta. We know Beretta's taken over the world. I mean, that's the fact. Nobody can dispute that fact and that argument. The longest running firearms and arms dealer company, family owned and everything else ever on the planet to ever exist and still going. They would never lie to us. The Italians would never lie to us. They would never do us wrong. We know that. And they're literally taking over the world. So, you know, that coupled with the fact that 380 is so apparent and obviously the best choice for your personal protection, and has been since its inception many decades ago. Those that don't think so, well, those that don't think so, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you've drank the Kool-Aid. I guess, you think that you've got to have something bigger. I don't know. Maybe it insults your manlyhood or something, or you're compensating with the bigger calibers of cartridges. I don't know, but that could be a problem, or could be the issue there, Your Honor. And then third, I mean, let's be honest. The poors really don't need firearms anyway, and so why not have it built by Beretta? And then the poors aren't able to afford it anyway. And then there we go. Only the people that really can, afford to have the nice toys and play with nice stuff. Well, that's the only people that's going to carry the Pico. And I yield the floor. I'll yield the floor to the gentleman from Arkansas at this point.
The prosecution rests. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my fellow colleague CloverTac has presented his case, but what you have noticed that he has brought no substance to this argument. He has brought a lot of smoke and mirrors, throwing out fancy words with deep concealment, Italian craftsmanship, 380. He's bringing out these terms that make it sound something that it's not. We all know that Beretta is one of the oldest and most revered product companies in the world. But ladies and gentlemen of the jury, do not let this man pull the wool over your eyes. I have one thing and one thing only. I want everyone to close your eyes and think of that horrible situation that you might have to use your concealed carry gun. And I ask you this, is this the gun that you want? My only argument in closing, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the Beretta Pico is no longer in production. I rest my case.
Well, if the Pico don't fit, you must have quit, I guess.
That's right. If it was that good of a gun, they'd still be in production. I'm just saying.
Yeah. That was fun. Thanks, Chase.
That was good.
Chase scared me there for a minute. I'm not gonna lie.
I got a little nervous when his name popped up. I'm not gonna lie, man.
But so that was the viewer topic segment brought to you, powered by our buddies over at Taurus. We didn't talk about them too much, but man, revolver semi-autos. I mean, really cranking up the revolver game.
Now now they've got access to shotguns in their family under their umbrella, if you will.
They do. The Rossi and the Heritage, and they're bringing in the revolvers with that. They're bringing they're cranking up the lever actions, and just a lot of cool stuff over there with Taurus. So thanks to them. You guys have a segment that you can play around. If you're live, if you're in replay listening to this, again, finger wag and shame on you. You should be here. So we can I guess we can start shutting this one down then, huh?
Yeah, what you got? You got anything going on this week? I know that you got the podcast, the late year. I don't know, the fall season. I'm not sure what you're calling it, but you're getting close within the next month or so, aren't you?
We are. I've been busy like you have. Well, not like you have, but you've been super freaking swamped and overwhelmed and busy, and I have too in different ways, but we've both been that way.
You've been waking up by 9 o'clock each day, which is incredible.
Oh, dude, I think I've had 6 hours of sleep in 3 or 4 days at this point. It's insane, and probably be another all-nighter tonight. But the podcast, we're scheduling that out, getting that working. Most that follow, what I'm doing over there on the channel, they know that since the first of the month, the laptop's been down. That's the primary source of most of the content, the regular videos you see. Hopefully in the next week that's resolved. And I kind of said that when it went down, like first of the month's a bad time of the month. Toward the end of the month is probably going to be when I'm able to really do something about it. And it looks like that's the way it's going to happen. But yeah, I think September 6th is the first episode. Right now we're looking at 14, possibly 16 episodes. Got a lot of cool guests as usual. And we're staring down the barrel of TriggerCon soon. And
TriggerCon's a month away, man. Yeah.
Wanamaker Tulsa Arms Show. And there's just so much happening and so much going on. But that's pretty much it. Yeah.
It does look like the jury came and the verdict was the Pico is not a good gun. So I won that case, but it looks like, Clover, I hate to say this, Beretta has appealed, but has hired Gizzard Gary as his attorney for the appeal, and he might win because he puts out there Beretta Pico. At least it's not the Altar.
I
think he might win the appeal on that. It's not the Altar.
Well, at the very least, deferred adjudication, I would think. Right?
I would say, yeah. I would say, yeah. But that's a solid argument, Gary. It's a solid argument. As far as us, man, I'm just trying to get through this month. You will not. You'll see me Tuesday night.
You're basically in Super Bowl week of your
the next
life.
After Tuesday. This week is this is not an exaggeration. I will work about 125 hours Monday through Sunday. So it's going to be brutal, but it's also going to be fun. I get to see a lot of friends and people I don't get to see but maybe once or twice a year. But I'm going to be busy. I will have the show Tuesday as long as I'm awake. If I don't go live, you'll know what's up. I'm probably asleep. There is a possibility that you might see me on CloverTac's channel tomorrow night, possibly.
Man, how did I miss? I'm glad you brought that up. How did I miss that?
I'm here for you, man. I'm here to
tired,
help you out.
Bro. Like I'm freaking tired. Yeah, tomorrow night, we can put that out. We talked about the Firearms Radio Network. They've got a bunch of new patches for the Firearms Radio Network that they want us to give away to some fine folks out there in the audience. So it's been a while since we played it. Ghost remembers, and a lot of you watching it now and listening remembers playing Wheel of Infringement Jeopardy. And so we're gonna play a round of Wheel of Infringement Jeopardy tomorrow night over on the main CloverTac channel. 8 Eastern is when that kicks off. So get there early, and hopefully you can win you one of those brand new hot off the not super hot because they're PVC, they'd burn your skin, but hot off the presses or the whatever. Firearm Radio Network patches. Man, thanks for bringing that up because I almost forgot. But yeah, Ghost is going to be my Vanna White apparently for
yes, I am. I've got the dress and heels already ready to go. I'm looking forward. I only get to bring the dress and heels out a few times a year, and this is one of them. So I'm looking forward to being a drag queen tomorrow night, if nothing else. But no, like I said, thank you guys for watching and listening to us make idiots and fools of ourselves. This is something that we enjoy doing, but thank you for supporting Clover and myself. Like I said earlier, whether it's on Patreon, channel memberships, using our affiliate links, our Amazon links, hell, just watching our stuff, commenting, sharing, just being a part of the conversation is really, really important. If you are watching this in replay or listening to it in podcast, the conversation does not have to stop. Go ahead and utilize the comment section and let us know what you think. Maybe some topics that you guys might want to hear. More importantly, if you're listening to this in podcast or watching a replay, join us in 2 weeks from tonight at 9 Eastern, 8 Central for the live recording. Get involved with the live. There's some great people that are always over here. Great conversations going on. You never know, you might meet some new friends. Thanks as always for watching and listening. Clove, you got anything?
No falafel for you.
No falafel for you. And I want to sit there and say, talk to me, Goose. Peace out.
Bye.